my story, Chasing Rainbows. Chapter 3, New Beginnings. However, once she had left St. Teresa's, she soon realized how alone in the world she was. Moving away from Plymouth, she vowed to make the best of her circumstances. Her new abode was in Dartington. Jess settled in with a charitable local couple recommended by Father O'Leary. The pair she lodged with were kindly, decent folk. Father O'Leary had found her the job at Carback's, but she was lonely. No one took any interest in a girl without any family ties or connections. For 3 months she had thrown herself into her work, often making more effort than the other girls. Some were envious of her, for Jess was a pretty girl, with silky blonde hair and sparkling brown eyes. She was slim-built, yet in good health, and more than willing to do her fair share of work, both at Carback's and where she lodged. It wasn't long before Joseph started to take an interest in Jess. He had been attracted to her from the start and admired her efficiency, albeit they were from different worlds. Yet he found her intriguing and was soon enraptured by her alluring charms. He pondered how he could approach her, show her he cared, although he was aware his father would scarcely approve. However, Joseph did not allow this to obscure his judgment. At first he would stroll around the office, stopping at various desks to see how the clerical work was progressing. One afternoon he lingered longer than usual, and was waiting outside when Jess hurried past. He had caught her arm. His eyes sparkled with some amusement. "My, we are in a hurry. Would you permit me to walk with you, Jess?" he had asked politely. Jess had been rather taken back. "Oh, why would you want to do that, sir?" She felt her pulses quicken with excitement as she gazed into his smiling blue eyes, acutely aware of her blushing face. Yet she could not help but feel flattered. She knew he liked her, as he often stopped by her desk, taking a keen interest in her work. Yet, could she have done something wrong? She thought not. "Well, I wondered if I might escort you home," he responded in good humour, aware of her confusion as she blushed prettily. It's only a short walk, sir, but thank you kindly," she smiled. He took her arm and they crossed the street, but Jess was wary. Why was he so eager to talk with her? Surely a young gentleman such as he would have other interests to pursue. They walked along in silence for a while. They had almost reached her lodgings when he spoke. "Jess, may I have the honour to call upon you this evening? I wonder if you would permit me to take you for a drive. Only I have to attend a formal dinner party tomorrow evening, and then I am to go to the textile mill in Great Harwood for a few days. I think my father has some changes in mind and wishes me to do a tour of inspection to note how business is progressing. I know I may be rushing things, and I wouldn't blame you if you refused to see me." He looked at her, his eyes teasing, melting into hers, and she felt a blush creeping over her face again. He took her hand and kissed it lightly. She smiled up at him shyly. "I could meet you here at 7:30. She spoke softly, aware of her heart thumping wildly in her chest. He actually liked her enough to ask her out. To the naive Jess, it was a dream come true. He kissed her hand once more, his heart soaring. "I'll be here, Jess," he enthused, waving as he hurried off up the street. Jess went into the house in a state of excitement. Oh, what should she wear? She had little choice, but there were a couple of pretty blouses and skirts to choose from. She rushed upstairs to her room and went to the wardrobe. She flung a couple of skirts upon the bed and glanced at the few lace-trimmed blouses that hung in the closet. She held each up against her chest. It was hard to choose. Each was pretty in its way. At last she decided to wear her brown cotton skirt and cream blouse with a lace-edged collar. She heated some water for her bath and screwed her hair up into a bun on top of her head, humming a little tune as she went to fetch in the enamel bath from the wash-house. Once the water was ready, she climbed into the bath and luxuriated in the warm soap suds. She could not help but feel delighted by Joseph Parker's attention. Of course, it would only be a friendly gesture on his part, for what possible interests had they in common, she mused. Had she ever moved in his circle? Of course not. Had she encouraged his attention? Certainly not. Jess knew he had always admired her dedication, trusted in her to produce articulate work. She had been grateful for her job from the start, taking pride in her work. Maybe he wished to discuss some new ventures. Perhaps his father, Geoffrey Parker, planned to expand the business, open up new avenues in the paper mill industry. After all, he was sending Joseph to do a tour of inspection at the mill in Great Harwood. Of course, the two businesses were not connected, yet if things were working out smoothly there, he might have ideas to branch out in different directions, maybe with a more modern approach to the fast-changing world of production. It could hold the promise of new challenges. Jess felt a thrill of excitement course through her veins. It was a possibility after all. Maybe she would have a small part to play in whatever changes lay ahead. She stepped out of the bath and reached for the towel. Oh, that would be something to think about, she thought. Up in her bedroom, she dressed hastily and brushed out her beautiful blonde hair until it shone like spun silk. Then she twisted it into a neat bun on top of her head and carefully pinned it into place. Jess twisted and turned in front of the cheval mirror, glancing at herself from all directions, wishing she had something more fashionable to wear. Despite the plainness of her clothes, she knew she looked radiant, which gave her a feeling of confidence as she made her way downstairs again.